I'm Michael Bain and welcome to Triggered, coming to you from the secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains in Dragon House Studios, and brought to you this week by Taurus, USA. If I go all the way back to late 2018, early 2019, I got a call from Keith Heinlein, a friend of mine at Stoeger, and he goes, "Hey Michael, Stoeger is getting back in the handgun business, and we have a new handgun. It hasn't been released yet. We'd like to send you one and get your opinion on it. Let you put it through its paces. See what we did right, see what we did wrong." That was this gun, Stoeger STR-9. It is a polymer-framed, full-size service pistol, striker fired, and I shot it a lot. Who's going to turn down free gun, free ammunition to put some time into it? And the more I shot it, the more I liked it. I found it really impressive. I found it to be a gun that hit all the bases. It was accurate, it's reliable as dirt, feels really good in the hand, has a right grip angle, the stippling, the checkering on the back, all perfect. Not too sharp, not too slippery. Trigger's good, and hey, MSRP of $329 at that time. That made it an amazing value. Well, what we're going to be talking about now is about 3 generations on, 2-3 generations on, as Stoeger continues to improve the STR-9 line. Now, I spent last week at Gunsight with some of the finest shooters in the world, and we were wringing out the guns in this box. The full-size STR-9S, a compact version, and this one is really cool. I love this gun. This is their micro compact version. Essentially, their entry into the micro 9mm sweepstakes. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you just a little bit of what it was like out there at Gunsight with 3 of their top instructors, Mario Marchman, Eric Gilhouse, and Paul Garcia, and some super shooters. And then over the next few weeks, we're going to take you through each one of these guns, because this is a substantial introduction, and I want you to know all about it. Keith, it takes a certain amount of balls to bring out a whole bunch of new guns with this particular group, because there's a lot of experience here, and there's a lot of people who pull the trigger a lot. So what was Stoeger's thinking? And then a second part of this question is, how have these first 2 days gone?
Yeah, so I'm the product manager, Michael, as you know, for Stoeger, and we came out with the STR-9 line in 2019, and it's been an outstanding product for us. We know the gun runs and runs well, but as the product manager, when you've got 20 or so pistol experts shooting your product in an environment like this, makes me a little nervous. But these guns have run flawlessly the entire time. Everybody has raved about them. They've shot extremely well, so I couldn't be more happy. And the guys here at Gunsight, the instructors, top notch. I've learned so much. It's just been an outstanding experience.
You know, there is that old saying that everything's fun and games until somebody gets an eye put out. And if you think about it, in an event like this where Stoeger has brought in a bunch of top-line shooters, Chris Serino is here, James Tarr is here, gosh, Paul Earhart is here. All the people that are here have shot not just 1 gun, 2 guns, 3 guns, but hundreds of guns. And that means it represents a risk to Stoeger, because what if the things don't work? What if they're not yielding the kind of gilt-edge accuracy that a group like this expects? So first, a lot of props to Stoeger for just being willing to do that. Secondly, so far, this is our 2nd day, and you know what? It's working exactly like it should be working. Yesterday on the range, one of the most fun days I've had on the range in a long time, the guns were 100%, and that is a hard thing to argue with.
I'm out at Gunsight and we're at a Stoeger event. They're introducing us to 3 Stoeger pistols. They've got a combat model full size, a compact, and a micro compact. And I have to say that I haven't given Stoeger enough thought or enough kudos. After shooting these guns for several days, I am super impressed. Low bore axis, good triggers, and they shoot very, very straight.
Historically has taught a 5-count presentation of the pistol. It's still going to be a 5-count. There's just going to be some different ways to get to the final result on there. Okay. First method I'm going to show you, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to work from here towards that target so you can all see it. I apologize for being a heathen left-hander. You just have to like try to mirror image this in your brain.
You are a mirror image.
Say again?
You are the mirror.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the problem is I've had to do that my whole life, right? And then try to make it make sense. So, got unloaded, empty? So my visual attention is on what I want to hit, which in this case is the gumdrop in the center of the target behind the number 9. I'm looking here. The way you'll see this, the presentation is grip, clear, rotate. All I'm doing is dropping my elbow. If I have to shoot someone off of me, this is a retention position. Okay. Then my hands meet up, that's smack. And regardless of how you're going to get the gun onto target, everything up to here stays the same. Once I'm here is where the variations is. Okay, one variation comes from a Gunsight alum, George Mandes, if anybody knows who George is. The way he describes this is taking the knuckle of this finger and driving it to the target like you're punching your annoying kid brother. Right, we all kind of know what that one's like, right? That's the way George describes it, okay? If that visual, if that verbiage works for you, rock on. The next one up comes from Scott Jedlinski at Modern Samurai Project. I am a poor imitation of what Scott does, but essentially at the point where the hands meet up, whereas we smack the hands together, Scott comes in. It was originally called a judo chop, right? But it was in, and then he rolls into the grip almost like a wave as he brings the gun onto target. Okay, if that works for you, fine. And again, it's make contact at the front, roll into the firing grip as you bring it up onto target, and there's the dot appears. The one that has worked for me is I get both hands on the gun, I'm still looking at that gun drop, I bring the pistol up to where it's just below my mustache, so about the jaw, and then I see the housing, I see the glass, I see the dot, and I break the shot. Okay.
This week's Triggered is brought to you by Taurus USA. Always ready, always bring it. Stoeger, everyday tough. SDS Imports, Thesis. Thesis means quality. Hunter's HD Gold. They change so you don't have to. And MTM Case Guard. Quality shooting sports accessories.
Well, we've been at Gunsight now 2 days working out the Stoeger STR-9s, the micro compact, the compact, and the full-size Combat Plus, which is the red dot and the extended threaded barrel. There's nothing like burning through the equivalent of a course at Gunsight to tell you whether or not the guns work, and they actually do. I haven't seen any problems whatsoever, other than getting a little sore and sunburned, but we're having a great time, in part because the guns are running great.
And so this is material that's going to ultimately be cycled back into the product as well. This is a research trip as well, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. So they're taking our existing lines and shooting them, critiquing them, letting me know, their thoughts. And overall, it's been a real positive experience. I've got a couple of things that I'm going to tweak on the guns, but overall, I'm thrilled to death that the guns are performing the way they are, and they've been received as good as they've been.
Okay, if I can sum this trip to Gunsight for Stoeger up, we shot the crap out of these guns. We did not give them any slack. Essentially, we were shooting drills, shot the indoor simulators, outdoor simulators. We were constantly shooting these guns, constantly reloading the magazines, constantly running them. And we had, in effect, 0 failures. 0. Only failures I had were using very lightweight frangible ammunition. Not surprising. 1, not a big deal. But you're going to really be excited when I take these guns individually through their paces, because Stoeger has really stepped up. This is a very impressive set of guns, especially this little guy. And boy, are you going to be hearing more and more about it. So I'm Michael Bain. This is Triggered, brought to you this week by Taurus USA. You can find us on michaelbain.tv, where we are amazingly free. Amazingly. Huge amount of content there. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find us on Rumble. You can even find us on Facebook. So, until next week, I think I'm going to let Brent Wheat have the last word. Brent, you've been to a lot of these events. How does this one stack up?
Of all the events I've been to, this is one of them.